Hello, I'm Jacob Hopkins, and I'm the Archives Collection Specialist here at Special Collections at SWEM Library. And so today we're looking at a 1773 first edition copy of Phillis Wheatley's poems on various subjects, religious and moral. And this book is really unique because it's believed to be the first volume of poetry published by a Black writer in America. And so Phillis Wheatley has a really interesting backstory because she was enslaved by John and Susanna Wheatley in Boston, Massachusetts, but they gave her an education unlike many other enslaved people in America. So Phillis Wheatley learned how to read, she learned how to write. John and Susanna gave her lessons from the Bible as well as taught her classics from both the Greek and Latin tradition. And so John Wheatley helped her publish her first poem when she was only 13 or 14 years old. And she really had fans in the higher tiers of America society, including George Washington, Benjamin Franklin, and John Hancock, who actually expresses his agreement for this book and these poems within it on this little beginning note to this volume. And so John Wheatley took Phillis Wheatley back across the Atlantic to London to help her publish her first volume of poetry, because even though she was well regarded amongst some of these political and social elites in America, it was still hard to get an American audience interested in buying poetry from an enslaved Black woman. And so in many ways, Phillis Wheatley really has a unique story. We know that most slaves in America were not afforded the same opportunities as her in terms of education, much less the chance to publish a whole book of poetry. And while Phillis Wheatley's particular placement in the Wheatley household is what granted her these unique opportunities, she was still very critical of the institution of slavery, and she included her criticism through her poetry, often in the form of biblical allusion or references to Greek and Latin classics.